Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome to the escape into the desert. Welcome to Desert Stanzas at the 16th edition of the Emirates Airline Festival of Literature. I'll give a moment to everyone to have a seat. And thank you to our amazing Ayala dancers. This was the cultural dance from the United Arab Emirates. Yes, please, let's clap for them. Thank you. Tonight, we are so blessed to be together with you. Where there is poetry, there is solitude, for we must travel within, scouring for words that may make sense of the chaos, the noise, the longing. But where there is poetry, there is also community, a connection, a sharedness. This condition of sharing, of being shared, forms the basis of the human condition. Before humans could write, humans sang. The oral tradition preceded the written. And I wonder if we're missing important lessons today that early humans passed on to each other in rhythm and chants, lessons we could learn from. Tonight, we are here to continue and revive that tradition. Tonight, you are a traveler, seated in the vast expanse of the Arabian desert, under the gleam of celestial bodies, reciting poetry that tells tales. Tonight, the beauty of it is that you will hear not one, but many languages: English, Arabic, Talandig, Mandarin, Urdu. Tonight, let us lay our souls bare and listen. We'll now proceed with the evening. Our beloved poets come from afar and close. Please refer to the booklets on your seats for details on each poet. Their social media handles are also mentioned if you'd like to follow them. And without further ado, I'd like to call upon our first poet, all the way from Brooklyn, Palestinian poet Hala Alyan.
Hi, marhaba. I'm going to read two poems. This first one is called Revision. I don't mean to hate the sparrows. I don't mean to close my eyes and see fire, a flood of concrete leaflets the size of grotesque snow. I don't mean to rehearse evacuation that isn't mine to rehearse. From the grocery store to the house, from the house to the river, from the river to the airport, here are the rules. There is a road, and it's gone now. There is a sea, and you can't drink its water. How far can you carry a toddler, a middle-aged dog? How far can you go in 65 seconds, 11 seconds, 3, 2? If you have a favorite flower, now's the time to redact it. If you have a mother, now's the time to move her to the basement. If you don't have a basement, I don't mean to profit from this poem, but I do. I don't mean to say I, but I do. Here are the rules. The rules are redacted. Redacted is redacted. Redacted is a red herring. Redacted is a billboard with 27,682 names. Here are the rules. I had a grandmother once. She had a memory once. It spoiled like milk. On the phone, she'd ask about my son, if he was walking yet, if he was eating solids. She'd ask if he was living up to his name. I said yes. I always said yes. I asked for his name and it was redacted. I dreamt of her saying, redacted, redacted, redacted. How deep in the earth can you burrow with your 4 hearts? Here are the rules. There is no bomb shelter. There is no ship. You can leave. Why aren't you leaving? You can resist. Why aren't you resisting? On the phone, my grandmother would call me her heart, her soul, her two God-given eyes. She'd ask if I wanted to visit Palestine again. I never brought her back any soil, but there was a story she liked, so I'd tell it again. How we drove past the gardens to the highest point, and we waved to Beirut. I waved to her, and later she said she was waving back. Never mind, her balcony faced the wrong direction. Never mind the sea, a terrible blue. Never mind, there never was a sun. Here are the rules. If you say Gaza, you must say redacted. If you say redacted, you must say redacted. Here are the rules. If there is a microphone, do not sing into it. If there is a camera, do not meet it in the eye. If you say Gaza, you must say Gaza. If you look, you must look until there is no looking left to do. Here are the rules. Here is my mother-given name. Here's my small life. It is no more than any other. Here's my grandmother dead for 5 years. She's speaking again. She calls when I'm not expecting. Kif ibnik, she says. Waino, let me say hello. What could I say back? He's good, I tell her. He's good. I pretend to call a child from the other room. I pretend to see the sea from over here. I wave back. Here are the rules. We bear what we bear until we can't anymore. We invent what we can't stand grieving. The sun sets on Gaza. The sun rises on Gaza, on your redactions, on your blue pencils, on your God-given eyes. He's good, I tell her. He's good. He's crawling. Mashallah, mashallah. Together we praise the sea and the sun. Together we praise how much he's grown. When they say pledge allegiance, I say, my country is a ghost. A mouth trying to say sorry and it comes out all smoke. All citizen and bullet and seed, my country is a machine. A spell of bad weather, a feather lacing my mother's black hair. I mean her dyed hair, I mean her blonde hair, I mean her hair matches my country, so shiny and borrowed and painted over. My country is a number like it is 1948. And my great-grandmother flattens bread with her hands while my other great-grandmother prays with her hands. One watches her land disappear. The other builds a house on land that will disappear. My country is an airport line, a year of highways, an intermission. My country is Stockholm Syndrome, is immigrant mouth saying thank you, saying please, saying my country is no country but ghost, is no man but ghost. My country is dead. My country is named the dead. Give them their letters, give them their salt. My country is a mouth trying to say pledge, and it comes out all salt. My country is a mouth that nobody can pronounce my name. I mean, my country forgets my name. I mean, my country is always asking for my name, and I'm always saying it twice, spelling it like an address. My country is a number, like it is 1967, and every Arab leader is crying. Every mother is clutching the son she has left, and my great-grandmother names my mother nostalgia, while my other great-grandmother names my father a gun. My country is all ghost. My grandmother is all ghost. My grandmother is a country. I mean, my grandmother is my country. I mean, my country is a lie, is an emptied house, is 1,000 cardboard boxes. My country is, remember when we left Akka? I mean, Gaza, I mean, Homs. My country is a number, like, it is 1990. My mother is crossing a border. I mean, desert. I mean, life. I am at her heels. I am paying attention. I mean, I am learning to pray to a flag. I mean, I am learning English. I mean, I am forgetting Arabic, or it is 2006. And my grandparents won't evacuate, won't leave another war, and all summer I dream of floods, collect bullets and love the wrong person, or it is 2003. And I am in Beirut, watching Baghdad burn because of America. I mean, I am in my country, watching my country burn because of my country, or it is 2020, and the women in Beirut are a sea. I mean, my country looks beautiful in red. I mean, my country thinks I look beautiful in red. I mean, this country likes me in red, or it is every year, and my country is taken. I mean, my country is stolen land. I mean, all my countries are stolen land. I mean, sometimes I am on the wrong side of the stealing. My country is an opening. I mean, bloom. I mean, bloom not like flower, but bloom like explosion. My country is a teacher. I mean, do you want to see my passport? I mean, do you like my accent? I mean, I stole them. I mean, I stole them. I mean, where do you think I learned that from? Thank you.
Thank you, Hala. Another round of applause for Hala. Thank you. I'd like to invite on stage now the fierce Tjawangwa Dema.
For this kind invitation and your presence here this evening. This first poem takes its title from the mythological Greek river of forgetfulness. This is Lethe. This is not that river, portico filled with wet shadow and sand. This is deciduous memory. And it grates against whatever remains, whatever reasons, designs we have concealed. Each day concedes that there is nothing, not one thing left to take away from here. Yet we make work of shredding everything. And our hands clutching at round river rock tell us that some things stay rooted as ginkgo on the bank while others erode into the current. Come tomorrow, and you will not know why you cannot forget. Dogmata or fairy tale, or from adult memory erase the giver of this drink, whose fluorescent face turned your tactile midnight form to foam in that loud, loud morning light. 1, 2, just because. Because I know you are going to ask where the flowers are. I have picked roses red and sweet and left them by the wayside for the birds to eat. Because I know you are going to ask where the sweets are. I have made you halwa with these hands stirred and then spilt what was yours. Because I know you are going to ask where I am. I have long left the place I was to walk slow between the trees where your greedy eye can no longer reach me. 1, 2, 3. Prosthesis. And since I cannot swim, I span myself into a fathom, lay my body down as a plea upon the water. Let my 4-year-old self drown again. I do this as an offering. My gray hair resisting the water-slick fingers is buoyant. A half float returning to its true shape while I contort myself, all fear and no grace, each stroke a beating on that which cannot scar. The instructor says, feel the water. Mouth closed, I want to say I feel all of it, pull and push, drift and dunk, its wet yank and toss now and in all its befores. More camel than crocodile, between gulps I glance back at my son on the shore, learning what water isn't. For him I lean into the wake of its open palm. May he never know that a crossing does not mean better, safer, that what the shield depicts as walking on water is how I stay drowning, an island for his small body to rest upon. Now I make a bridge of blood and bone, of sinew and lung. For him I swallow salt, take one last breath above the shimmer, drown again, and again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Because I suspect we are all thinking about the environment in one way or another. This is Black Bear in the grocery store. Here we are in Thousand Oaks, cypress trees in the grue distance, milk in one hand and the other outstretched fetching. When we are stupefied in the land of plenty, of aisles and aisles of having what is canned, bottled, preserved, fresh, all must be paid for in this tiled valley of dead things. And between steel streams full with multicolored plastic and paper packages and tin flowers, and below the M&Ms and loo roll and ramen, a black bear, barely a yearling, so hot she cannot calibrate sleep, more open she places paw before paw, her bow-legged limbs all limber and lank, her cinnamon snout bearing low, in search of, I make a list, bird food and garbage, water and same-day salmon. Here, in this counterfeit den, with its cool, cool weather, she moves, that we might see her and do more than spill our cold milk.
Thank you, Tjawangwa. That was beautiful. I'd like to call upon stage now, we know him as the Prince of Poets, Ahmed Bakheet.
أولاً أشكر الهيئة التي دعت لهذا المهرجان الجميل، وأنا سعيد بوجودي بينكم. شتائيون نحن وأنت شال، شتائيون نحن وأنت شال، ونهريون جبهتنا الجبال، وشرقيون رحالون غرباً، جنوبيون وجهتنا الشمال، ومرتفعون مئذنة تصلي إذا التفت على العنق الحبال، أشداء على وجع الليالي بما يكفي ليجرحنا الخيال، تدللنا على الدنيا كثيراً فأفسدها وأصلحنا الدلال، ولم نسرق سوى الضحكات منها فضحكتنا ودمعتنا حلال، نحب كما نموت بالاعتذار، كأن الحب والموت احتفال، ونشهد أن بعض الظن أنثى تقبلنا وقبلتها اغتيال، بخير نحن ما زلنا بخير، أنا والليل معركتي سجال، ويحمل عبء هذا العمر عني فتى في الثانوية لا يزال، فلا تذهب إلى شك بعيد، أكيد أنت والدنيا احتمال، بخير نحن ما زلنا بخير، أنا والليل معركتي سجال، ويحمل عبء هذا العمر عني فتى في الثانوية لا يزال، ككهل مر بالعشرين سهوا وقاتل حيث لا يجدي القتال، رأى ما قد رأى، كانوا ظلالا على الطرقات بعد الشمس زالوا، فلا تذهب إلى شك بعيد، أكيد أنت والدنيا احتمال، يعلمني قميصك كيف أبكي كما تبكي على الضوء الظلال، أزل ما في قميصك من غبار فنقصان من نقص اكتمال، غدا كن غير من قد كنت واحمل سؤالك أول الضوء السؤال، ولا تكن الضحية كن غزالا، غدا قد يهزم الأسد الغزال، غدا لا شمس تسبقنا شروقا ولا يغتال خطوتنا الزوال. تقاسمنا الطريق معا صغارا بحب لا يؤرقه اكتهال، ولم يكبر معي إلا حنيني وطفلاي الحقيقة والجمال. بخير نحن ما زلنا بخير، أنا يافا وأنت البرتقال. إلى أين في الأهل لا ملتجأ؟ إلى أين في الظل لا متكأ؟ بعكازتين يسير الصواب ويعدو على قدميه الخطأ، وأقصى خيالي ألا أبالي بمن ضمد الجرح أو من نكأ. لعبت مع العمر غميضة إلى الآن لم أجد المختبأ. بلادي التي يا بلادي التي إذا جاءها حلمها لم تجئ، أيشفع لي فيك أن دمي يحبك إن شاء أو لم يشأ؟ عزيز على القلب أن تحضنيه كما يحضن السهم صدر الرشأ، فإن شئت أن تذبحي عاشقا فلا تذبحيني أمام الملأ. بلاد الغريب مناف الغريب ورعب النبوءة صدق النبأ. متى يفشل النهر في الامتحان؟ إذا علموا النهر درس الظمأ. تلكأت في حفلة الهالكين لعل السفينة لم تمتلئ. تعلمت في الحب أن البلاد على صدر أحبابها تتكئ. يدي تسند الآن أهرامها المهيبة خيفة أن تنكفئ. على إثرهم خطوة خطوة، على إثرهم خطوة خطوة، بيوت وراء الخطى تنطفئ، ومن هيبة الدمع خلف الزجاج يكاد الزجاج يعاني الصدى. أنا آخر الحالمين الكبار بأن يجبر الماء عجز الحمأ. على كوكب بائس كان لي كلام النبوات منذ ابتدأ، ولي أخوة ضعف عد الكواكب في الليل والليل لم يستضئ، وكانوا يخيفون ذئب الفلاة وكنت وراء أبي أختبئ. رعينا معا غنمات السنين، رحلنا معا حين جف الكلأ، وها نحن بعد الخريف الطويل وبعد ربيع وحيد طرأ، فقدنا أخوتنا في اللسان فلا خبر ثم أو مبتدأ. وودع شهباءه المتنبي بلا رجعة والمعري صبأ، فكيف أحدثهم عن دمي؟ قميص الدم العربي اهترأ. أنا الهدهد العربي الأخير، صدقت وما صدقتني سبأ. شكرا.
Let's hear the claps again. Thank you so much, Mr. Ahmed Bakheet. The next poet is the ethereal Claudia Rankine. Please welcome her to the stage.
Good evening. It's such an honor to be here and to be among such amazing writers, poets, people. So thank you. I'm going to read, you might know that this is an important year in the United States. We have an election, a very important one coming up. And so I thought I'd read a poem called Nostalgia about another presidency. We heard healthcare, and we thought public option. We thought reaching across the street, across the lines, across the aisle was the manifestation of not a red state, not a blue state, but these United States. We thought we could be sure of ourselves in this one way, sure of our human element, our basic decency, and if justice was how love showed itself in public, then love was defined by access to care. When someone, anyone, thought that cough that burned the chest was probably nothing, but who knew that fever after 3 days, that inability to breathe, to sleep, to wake, in justice, in love, we thought we were ready to be just as good, to be better. And despite all the ways we exist alone, no one would be ill on their own. We were ready to take a stab at a kind of human kind of union. We were ready to check up, to look after in this one way. We were ready to care for each other. We were ready to see our range of possibilities as a precious commodity, to know every other as another, to live in the width of our being. And we weren't ignorant or stupid or naive or idealists or socialists or communists or Canadians. We understood the private option would still keep us alive longer. We understood the private options would treat the disease, not the symptoms. The private options meant access to specialists, to privacy, to elective procedures, to a team of doctors, to radiology, imaging, to brand name drugs. We understood the impossibility of real equality. But this single shift towards a national community, we thought, despite being founded on genocide and sustained by slavery in democracy's country, we thought we were ready to see sanity inside the inhumanity. We thought the improbability of the face on Capitol Hill meant possibility. Thank you.
Thank you, Claudia. Our next performer is the enchanting Grace Nono, with special thanks to Grace's teacher Talandi Shiftain Datu Miketai Sawai.
hình lối của rồi đã là lại hơn pasana Stray pasalahan tak suwahan magsandig subundaru manalahaba paska pagpaulay gahay suapu manlapagan hanin elingan samalyawarin bahanggat samalindang tainahayahan yan din nalantigan sa gagawin malana sa dulang sinukudahan was marino kaili na marikayanan samayakan suwahay suatasan kuinuhulahan dalan huwat simayagi sugapay kuwanayatay hangin gagian seling gududugan ay rimula pandan wiginaw ang salahan yan din kahiralan sa kuyuyupayapan ay naman suliw biglan sa'yo duwahan maninugahiling sa walang mamagsipog habadi kayanan sa bisa magsikabudaman hiligan dun huwahan manugiwalan dun dalupayo na agumahan sa sigulumig sulahan buhok natin mong buhok Saus tu migmasian I yearn for yesterday. I wish for past times when the earth was young, when the land was fresh, when grandparents Manetep and Manlapagan were still living. The earth then was like a basin that was not cracked. The land was like a bowl that was not broken. And the reason for this was that the customs had not been abandoned, the folkways not deserted. And in that case, the people were like Pandan, who slept soundly at the treasured river fountain. The inhabitants were like Dansuli, who slumbered peacefully at the preserved spring that was rarely turbulent, that seldom shook its waves. For For there was no existing imbalance. There was no inclination to fall. Because siblings were united like fastened hair. Relatives were fastened as one, like hair.
Did we just hear the voice of nature? How beautiful was that? Thank you. More claps for the graceful grace. I want to share a poem I wrote on a train journey in London and learned that a light has other meanings not connected to fire. Just before the first stop on the TFL arrives, in the boxed hallways of our starkly lit caravan, the announcer's modulated voice resounds, "A light here." Never heard this word before, a light. She doesn't say stop, get down, get off. Instead, she asks us to perform a holy rite, a light here. Is she calling the passenger who descends upon this dark place a light, or is she telling the passenger the light they seek is present, a light here? Bittersweetness kindles in the word. It illuminates and sets ablaze, yet it also serves to lighten the load, or in flight, let a bird, a light here. There is wistfulness when one leaves for what is left behind, or anticipation for what is to come. Then in weariness, one may alight here. So fret not, dear passenger, wherever the tracks take you, whatever the untrodden path may reveal, this is not the end, no dead end. This is a way to go. Come then, tarry a while before you alight from here. Thank you for being our fellow travelers. I'd like to invite upon the stage our next performance, recently knighted for his services to literature, Mr. Ben Okri. But before that, his lovely daughter Mirabella. I'd like to call Mirabella Okri on stage. Mirabella, a round of applause for her, please.
Good evening, everybody. I would like to thank you all for us all being here. The leaders of the dawn, their shadows before them, bringing the day into the future. Yesterday was a desert, today is a forest. But the leaders of the dawn, with their golden wings and glistening heads, are singing a message of fire and new water. Stop wounding our magic. Carry your shadows. Love this world.
Hello. Once again, more claps for Mirabella. Let me correct myself, Sir Ben Okri. Please welcome him.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, thank you very much for this invitation and for being here. That was Mirabella you heard. It was her poem, written entirely by herself, and I'm very proud of course. I'm going to read 2 poems and 1 short one. The first poem I'm going to read is called "The World is Rich." And I should remember to wear my glasses. They tell me that the world is rich with terror. I say the world is rich with love unfound. It's inside us and all around. Terror is there, no doubt. Violence, hunger, and drought. Rivers that no longer flow to the sea. It is the shadow of humanity. There's terror in the air, and we have put it there. We have made God into an enemy, have made God into a weapon, a poverty, a blindness, an army. But the world is rich with great love unfound. Even in the terror, there is love, twisted round and round. Set it free. River, flow to the sea. The next poem I'm going to read is a climate poem. It's the title poem of my last book called Tiger Work. It's about the tiger that's almost extinct. And I've used it as the metaphor for the work that I'm trying to do. Tiger work. Prowls the edges, dwindling in cages, into legend falling, from collective memory fading, hunted every hour for its eyes, its stripes, its power. When it vanishes, we will follow. Its absence will make us hollow. It lives in language, lives in law. That death begins in thought is a kind of law. And if tiger exists no longer, would this make weaker or stronger our spiritual reach, our poverty, our poetry and speech? It prowls dream and song, links us to earth and sun, and every day we grow smaller with the death of a single one. The loss of the fly is as great as that of the tiger, and the death of the last bug as tragic as the death of the Niger. We need some ferocity to protect our humanity. We need mystery and presence to project force and the sense of justice. Our rights depend on our mental fights. We need spiritual power in the street and tower, need it in the totem and high place as guardian of the human race. We need it in the struggles of the street where climate denial and end of time meet. What else can mesmerize like the beauty of its eyes? The tiger belongs to a higher order, composed of fire, mystery, dreams, conjunction of power and radiance, something prophetic, it seems, a compacted state of being, something we'll never accomplish, never get to, much as we would wish. An alternative route of evolution, form and sign of a divine solution. Something about the tiger is too much for us, like simple addition next to calculus. It stuns us with the limitation of our form and our messy everyday norm. It tells us we can be more, leap into better destinies than before. Primed for great battles ahead between those that want us dead and those who want to lift the human song to its highest gift. If we are to survive, fighting spirit we must revive. if we as a race will thrive, tiger spirit must we keep alive. And my final poem is called The Void. And it's a poem about a war that's taking place in our times, that's breaking our hearts. And I chose to write about it in this way. It's about the bridge, but the poem is called The Void. I was talking to a bridge builder and asked how he built the structure that brings two warring elements together. This was his answer. What is a bridge? A land divided or the gap between? Most see a unity wrought through necessity and compromise, mutual respect or cohabitation. But he was interested in the space separating these two lands that perhaps are one hope. And thinking of the vacuum made him forge a rare concept, one worthy of an old myth. He built a bridge that acknowledged the empty space. To walk that bridge is to feel the swaying danger of the winds and the heights, the howling drop. No one can walk that bridge without respect, holding on carefully to the ropes on either side, aware of the beauty and the depths and the rocks, the pitiless desert all around. Its strangest feature is the gap that runs through the center. Neither half meet. The gap is for thermal expansion of the tough material. It's not the two territories that deserve it, but the rage and the void between. That's where history falls through. We need a new kind of bridge, not one that brings these irreconcilable peoples together, but one that reminds them every day into what emptiness they can both fall. And there is no end to that fall. Not now, or for all of history to come. Perhaps the madness will make them create the kind of bridge that has never been built before. Not a bridge of peace, but of a terror for a world in which peace can never be. Thank you.
Thank you, Sir Ben Okri. Our next poet is known as the Princess of Poets. Let us welcome Aisha Al Saifi.
Good evening, everyone. مساء الخير. أفكر في رحلة الأرض ماذا تريد وماذا عليها نريد. أفكر في رحلة الأرض ماذا تريد وماذا عليها نريد. وماذا يريد الإله الذي علم الطير كيف يعود. ونحن نقاوم أقدارنا كيف ننجو وأرواحنا دربتها القيود. وهل ثم معنى لنقتل من أجل ما فعل الأولون؟ فنحن الفتيل ونحن الجنود. نقاوم ماذا وأقدارنا سبقتنا؟ نقاوم ماذا وهذه القلوب التي أثقلتنا حديد؟ وكيف وهم قسمونا جميعا، أولئك الملوك، أولئك الشيوخ، أولئك العبيد. وكيف وهم قسمونا جميعا، أولئك الملوك، أولئك الشيوخ، أولئك العبيد، وماذا استفدنا وتاريخنا مثقل بالضحايا؟ وماذا استفدنا وتاريخنا خطه من يسود؟ وهل كان مجد حروب الكلام؟ فهذا يذود وهذا يذود. ومن أين ندرك من هم ونحن وأبصارنا ضيقت السدود؟ أفكر ماذا نريد عميقاً عميقاً عميقاً، وما من سؤال على شفتينا رماه الوجود. وهذه الدماء ما من سؤال يحركها كلما ضاق عن شريان وريد. لقد آن أن نستفز الوجود، فكم يجرح الروح هذا الجمود. وآن لهذه السؤالات ألا تموت وآهاتها باللظى تستزيد. وما ضر لو كان هشا سؤال، فمن حقها أن تعيش الورود. وما ضر لو كان هشا سؤال، فمن حقها أن تعيش الورود. وكم آن يشهق منا الدعاء وغوث السماء علينا يجود. لقد آن للروح أن تستعيد السماء التي أفرغتها الحدود، وأن تسترد الهواء الكثيف. فثمة شمس تريد الخروج، وثمة صبح علاه الجليد. وأنا لها أن تصلي قليلا 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 لمن علم الطير كيف يعود. وآن لنا أن نسيل قليلا قليلا قليلا، فنحن من الطين جئنا جميعا، وللطين أجسادنا ستعود. اليوم هو يوم الخميس، وأنا لا أحب يوم الخميس. أنا لا أفضل يوم الخميس، لأني أفضل ألا أحبك يوم الخميس. أفضل ألا أحبك يوم الخميس، فوجهي بيوم الخميس يصير قصيدة، وليل الخميس يعيد إلى رئة كل من خنقوها بحزن البلاد البعيدة. أفضل ألا أراك غدا، فالنساء اللواتي ذرفن الدموع عليك سيأتين هذا المساء ويسكبن أوجعهن السخية، ووجهي سيصبح كل النساء اللواتي انكسرن على كتفيك بفعل أكاذيب جولاتك العاطفية. وكل النساء سيأتينني ليكن هوائي وصوتي وعيني إذا حضر الشعر وانطفأ الحزن في شفتي، وبدأت الكتابة عن حزنهن وعن جرحهن وعن ليلهن وعن دمعهن وعن خوفهن وعن بحة الشوق في وجههن وعن بحة في أهازجهن الجميلة وعن رفة العين حين يربتن في كتفي ليغنين في حضرة الحزن أجمل أحلامنا المستحيلة. وحتى يدرن كؤوس الدموع ويهتفن بي اكتبينا اكتبينا وهاتي يديك ومسي يدينا وقولي الكلام الذي علقته الحياة على شفتينا، وهي اسمعينا وغني لكي نصطفيك الفتاة التي شعرها نازف في يدينا، فأكتب دمعة كل نساء عمان وشهقة كل نساء عمان وخذلان كل نساء عمان وأوجاع كل نساء عمان. اكتبينا اكتبينا اكتبينا، فأكتبهن بشعري وصوتي ودمعي وبحة حلقي ورعشة صدري، وأنزف ليل الخميس وجرح الخميس وخوف الخميس الذي يعتري امرأة وجهها كل يوم خميس يصير قصيدة. لذاك أفضل ألا أحبك يوم الخميس، لأني أحب قضاء المساء برفقة حزني وحيدة. القصيدة الأخيرة: أنا عورة. إنهم يطلقون الرصاص الكثيف على شفتي، إنهم يطلقون الرصاص الكثيف على شفتي ويحترفون امتصاص الهواء المقيم على رئتي، يريدونني جثة ليصلوا علي. ويوجعهم أن بنتا تحب علانية دون رهبة بلا حجب مثلما تفعل الأخريات اللواتي وراء الستائر يطلقن بالخوف مليون رغبة. وأن القبيلة أوجعها أن بنتا تحب رويدك توبي وراءك قبر وعرض ورب. أنا عورة تتمشى على قدمين، أنا عورة تتمشى على قدمين، ويقلقهم أن لي شفتين وأنفا فمن وجبينا وعينين، ويوجعهم أنني امرأة كلما طعنوا ظهرها أنجبت مخلبين. ويوجعهم أن صوتي صداه يهز بلادا، ويوجعهم كيف أني بصمتي على مكرهم أتمادى، ويوجعهم أن نزوى البلاد التي أنجبتني، وأني إذا جاع عمري كستني ولم تتبرأ، إذا أذنب القلب مني وإن خفت في حضنها زرعتني ولم ذات يوم تكلني، لأني عبير رحاب أميرة سارة ليلى نبيلة شيخة بدرية، وأنا عائشة، وأنا نجمة الليل تشعلني العتمة الخادشة، ولكنني عورة في عيون الذين أحاديثهم عورة من نوايا، ومن رجفتي في القصيدة يلوون وجه الحكايا، رغم أني من الشعر أكتب دمع النخيل وجوع المرايا وحزن النساء اللواتي على كل شبر بأجسادهن تعيش الخطايا. فمن يمنح الدمع حين يصلي من الخوف والجوع صوتا سوايا؟ إنهم يطلقون الرصاص الكثيف 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 على شفتي، ولكنهم كلما صوبوا أتلاشى وتحمل أجنحة كتفي، وإن صوبوا أتناسل. سلمى، شميسة، بشرى، جميلة، مريم، سلوى، حنان، غزالة، لمياء، بلقيس، أسماء، خولة، شمساء، زهرة، أحلام. أصبح كل النساء اللواتي ولدن أو القادمات اللواتي سيولدن أنجو إذا صوبوا، فأنا عائشة وأنا البحر لن تشتري صمته طلقة طائشة.
Thank you, Aisha. Another round of applause for Aisha, please. Thank you. Our next poet is a wonder to watch, and she is no stranger to Dubai. So please welcome with me, Dajani.
Masā al-khair. Good evening. My name is Dajani. I am a proud Palestinian poet. And instead of performing my own work this evening, I wanted to perform a poem by Mahmoud Darwish because on Saturday evening, I've curated an evening of homage, of tribute to Palestine's poet laureate. It will be a beautiful tapestry of his poetry, of music and song, and beautiful visuals, and I hope you will join us. So this evening I will be presenting a poem by Mahmoud Darwish called Mu'allaqat, or a rhyme for the odes. It's a testament to the power of language, of discourse, to shape both personal identity and collective destiny. No one guided me to myself. I am the guide. أنا الدليل. I am the guide to myself. Between desert and sea, born of language, on the road to India, between two small tribes, adorned by the moonlight of ancient faiths and an impossible peace. Compelled to guard the periphery of the Persian neighborhood and the great obsession of the Byzantines, so that the heaviness of time may lighten over the Arabs' tent. Man ana? Who am I? That is a question others ask but have no answer. Ana lughati. I am my language. I am an ode, 2 odes, 10. هذه لغتي. أنا لغتي. This is my language. I am my language. I am words writ. Kun jasadi. Be my body, and I become an embodiment of their timber. I am what I have spoken to the words. Be the place where my body joins the eternity of desert. Be so that I may become my words. No land on earth bears me, only my words bear me. A bird born from me who builds a nest in my ruins before me and in the rubble of the enchanting world around me. I stood on the wind, and my long night without end. هذه لغتي. This is my language, a necklace of stars around the throats of my loved ones. هاجروا. They immigrated. هاجروا. They carried the place and immigrated. هاجروا. They carried time and immigrated. هاجروا. They lifted their fragrances from their pottery, carried their bleak pastures and immigrated. They took the words. The ravaged heart left with them. Will the echo, this echo, this white sonorous mirage hold a name whose hoarseness fills the unknown with divinity, and whom departure fills with the unknown? The sky opened a window for me. I looked and found nothing save myself outside itself, as it has always been, and my desert-haunted vision. My steps are wind and sand, and my world is my body and what I can hold on to. عالمي جسدي وما ملكت يداي. أنا المسافر والسبيل. I am the traveler and also the road. Gods appear before me and disappear, so we don't linger on what is to come. There is no tomorrow in this desert save for what we saw yesterday. So let me brandish my ode to break cyclical time and bring on better days. How much past tomorrow holds. I left myself to itself, a self filled with the present, and departure left me bereft of temples. Heaven has her own nations and wars, and I have a gazelle for a wife, and palm trees for odes in a book of sand. What I see is past, for mankind a kingdom of dust and a crown. So let my language overcome my hostile fate, my line of descendants. Let it overcome me, my father, and a vanishing that won't vanish. هذه لغتي. This is my language and my miracle, my magic wand. This is my obelisk and the gardens of my Babylon, my first identity, my polished metal, the desert idol of an Arab who worships what flows from rhymes like stars in his abai, and who worships his own words. So let there be prose. There must be a divine prose for the prophet to triumph.
Thank you, Dana. Another round of applause for her, please. Thank you so much. I know you're hungry, but isn't the poetry nourishing us? Right, so our next performance, he's considered one of the world's great world poets of our era. Please welcome Mr. Yang Lian.
And now you will hear a language which is different from all language you hear before. Well, luckily Namal will read the English translation after my Chinese reading. And since our festival is called the Emirates Airlines Festival of Literature, so I select first a poem which is written based on my flying experience. I'm sure everybody shared that experience here. And also it was based on our exiled experience. So that's joined together. The poem is titled Traveling with the Stars. Here is Chinese. 与星同游，在逃难的地平线两边，星星是和你同步的水晶风暴。半个天空像被收割后的田野，你是一粒小麦，在磨坊里磨着，你眺望，像仇敌们互相思念。一个人用星的步子行走100年，在那海边喝水，听那鼓声从前额敲击到脑后，刺破皮肤，把骨头凿刻得根根银白。看着星星，自己也浮动起来。你在你里边浮动，时差随着一具躯体而腐烂，金色大海随着阳光才暴露食肉的过程。半个天空，残存活着的深度，落下。你是被选中的另外半个，在不得不明亮时，不得不4分5裂。Thank you so much.
Traveling with the Stars, translated by Brian Holton. At either end of the refugee horizon, the stars, a crystal tempest in time with you. Half the sky like harvested fields. You are a grain of wheat, grinding in the mill. You scan the scene the way that enemies yearn for each other. A man walking through a century in time with the stars, drinking water on that seashore, hearing that drum beating from the forehead to the back of the brain, stabbing, skin chiseling bones one by one into silvery white. Looking at the stars, you too begin to float, floating inside yourself, time differences, decaying along with the body. Only following starlight does the gold ocean disclose its flesh-eating processes. Half the sky remains the depth of life. Falls, you are the other half that is chosen. When you can't help shining, you can't help falling apart. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Namal.
Hope I did justice to that.
We are not only traveling in space, because we are also travelers of time. My next poem is based on something in China 3,000 years ago. In the 3,000 years ago, there was a Shang dynasty, and they made great bronze pieces. On the bronzes, there were always fantastic but mystery demon, Tao Tie, this crazy face. And my archaeology friends say that we perhaps will never know what's symbolic meaning of that crazy image. Then I told him, wait a second, maybe I will find an answer for you. Then I wrote this poem, and actually I addressed the questioners all the way since thousand years ago until our time now. And that is the title, that is the poem, all built up with the question marks. I read Chinese first, and Namal will read you the translation. 饕餮之问，北极星嵌在额头正中，幽蓝晶亮，铜如冰，毁了一切。被蒸煮的少女孤零零怀抱着一切，逃出安阳，逃进阴之夜，没别的光，除了这目光，奢华摩洗一把大月，粉嫩的残枝稳落在哪儿？千百年，抬头，我们就在陷落。水切池总在下面，少女坍塌为花花生，嚼或者嚼。千百个字再分裂，还是唯一那个，一笔写尽流淌的蒸煮10000次，肉仍沁着忧伤。醒来，嚼，恰是嚼。这张脸比不在更无情的存在，这种无力盯着谁，就把谁凿穿成隘口。磨啊，什么美，不是血淋淋的？浅浅的青铜上浮雕着我们浅浅的漂浮。铜之轴，冷冷一问，又把天空变小。冥冥之黑里，多少不升不降的太阳。少女婀娜自阴之夜荡毁，一缕香碾熄了灯火吗？人面兽面都温驯依偎进了青烟吗？什么也不说的语言，已完成了祭祀吗？
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Questions about the demon Tao Tie, translated by Pascal Petit. The pole star is set in the center of his forehead. The deep blue is crystalline, his eye's pupil has destroyed everything. Does the lonely, boiled girl embrace everything? Escaping from Anyang is an escape into the yin night. No other light except this sight, luxuriously grinding a huge axe. Where did the tender, broken limbs fall? Looking up for thousands of years, we sink down. Water always grinds its teeth beneath us. The girl collapsing to a gurgle. Does Tauti seize or chew? Thousands of words resplit open are still. The one character that one stroke captures life's flow has been cooked 10,000 times. The flesh still soaked in sorrow to reawaken is seizing, chewing. This face is even more ruthless than non-being, this powerlessness, staring out to rams a hole, to pound away. What beauty is not bloody? Our floating life is carved on the shallow bronze relief. Does the pupil's axle icily shrink space? How many suns don't rise or set in the darkness of naming? The girl swings gracefully back from the yin night. Does a thin fragrance snuff out all light? Do bestial and human faces gently clasp vapor? Has unutterable language finally fulfilled the sacrifice? Thank you. Thank you so much. Our final performance for the night. She is a preserver of UAE culture, and among her many achievements, she has compiled the poems of one of the finest Emirati Nabati poet, Usha bint Khalifa bin Ahmed Al Saifi. I invite Dr. Rafia Ghubash on stage, as well as Nadia Khawandanah, who is a translator of the poems. Nadia Khawandanah, I would ask you to first arrive so that you can begin with the English.
Good evening. I'm so honored to be here tonight with you. Thanks to Professor Rafia Ghubash, and thanks to Emirates Festival of Literature. And thanks to you, distinguished audience, lovers of poetry. And where else can we recite some poems of the iconic Nabati Emirati poet, Aisha bint Khalifa Aswadi, the girl of the Arabs, Fatat al-Arab, who was rightly named, given this title by His Royal Highness, Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid, the Prime Minister and Governor of Dubai. So I will recite to you, under the starry nights and among the beautiful dunes of Dubai in this enchanting night, for Aisha bint Khalifa Aswadi, who excelled by her eloquence and romantic and poetic imagery. She best illustrated and kept and documented Emirati desert, the gazelles, the deer, the stars, the camels, and you will hear a glimpse of that. Love roots. Love roots are so deep in my heart. My tears and yearning have long cherished it. Full of unfathomable seas of passion, and to his direction, everyone reckons its mast. He who is a glory seeker, honor is his maxim. Morality is the crown of bravery. Wealth and rank shouldn't for arrogance call. To mentors, patience and respect show. It pays off well, for sure. If your righteousness is your eminence, obedience from all will be your chalice. From benevolence, get your share, spiritual and earthly, great satisfaction you will gain. To your offenders, tolerance and forgiveness prove. Dignity from vulgarity can yourself spare. The secrets of your heart don't ever reveal to anyone who can't faithful be. Resist the temptation. Resist the temptation of manipulative friendships. May the Lord best and perpetually reward those who found me worthy of their trust. May the envious hearts that rumors about me are spreading to tolerance soon be heading. A high cloud best illustrates me. If I were your sea, you won't any roughness see. Just let it go. No revenge at all. Sublimity is my goal. Keep in touch with whom your soulmate could be. A unique, faithful friend, all wit and cheerfulness. A joyful company and merriment, forever his traits remain. His leniency and patience have motherly care. Oh, my treasure, your devoting protector is my soul, and your lasting company is its ecstasy. He is so dear, and his heart to mine is so near. Gracefully powerful, simply he's one of his kind. In longing, in yearning, we bid each other farewell. God bless our souls and yours. From Lian to Dubai. On the day of my trip from Lian, I headed passionately for Dubai, for Al-Wasl, home of the beloved. Long live that land and its people, the most convivial. They are all generosity, cheerfulness, hospitality, and cordiality. They are so kind-hearted, glowing with pleasure and happiness, that our days have into festivals turned. Performers of all folk arts, of dancing and singing are there too. One can easily tell how perfectly ready and fully excited they are. They are so passionate. Surely they have proved it. Their artistry, they never stop perfecting, even if they grasp great masters become. If they my judgment seek, I'm more than willing that my sincere give. They are my long life friends. How compassionate, how benevolent they are. O Lord, to whom we pray and whose blessings we wait for. May lightning coming from the west be a sign of luck. And may many clouds of rain follow. May the heavy clouds pour rain on the land and all over the country for a long while. Meadows will grow, so splendid she-camels can graze plentifully. And Sheikh Rashid is their greatest fan. Flora and fauna will remind the nostalgic souls of breezy shades. Peace be upon the messenger. Peace be upon the messenger, who was forever thankful, who was sent for our guidance. So long we live and remember him, our best greetings we always send, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Nadia, for your wonderful translation and your work. I invite now the most amazing Dr. Rafia Ghubash on stage.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. I would like to start, as I am the last one, I could take another 2 minutes to say thank you very much, Isabel Bilhol, for creating the Emirates Literature Festival. And thank you for the team who's working hard all the year for this week. Thank you, Ahlam, that you are fit enough to continue the journey. Thank you very much. Now, let me tell you also my feeling that after those great poems we hear tonight, I feel I have to explain what Nadia read and what I am going to read. Both we are not poets, but we just trying to express our feeling that the Nabati poems should be with us in this festival. Now, the poet herself was born in 1920, so more than 100 years ago. And the poems which Nadia read, she said in the 60s. So you can imagine that great woman, how she expressed her feeling in a very free way. She explained her feeling and her feeling toward the one he loved, but with high dignity and respect. I just want to give this background about her. Now, another information I want to say, I'm professor in psychiatry. I am very academic for the last 40 years, but in the last 15 years, I shift to just keep tracking all the history of women of United Arab Emirates and publish more than 8 books. One of them is encyclopedia about 600 women of United Arab Emirates. It's really a great honor for me to read Aisha poems. I will try my best to represent the Nabati poems. الحين عاد حق العرب بنحاول نلحن شوية القصيدة. غرست الحب في قلبي زراعة ومن دمعي سقيته والولاعة غزير الحب وبحورة غزيرة وكل به يميل به شراعة فيا اللي طالب العليا تسنع ترى الأخلاق هي راس الشجاعة فلا تفخر بمال ولا مشيخة ركونك في يد العالم صناعة تخلق بالمكارم والسجايا وتصبح كلمتك دايم مطاعة ومن المعروف لا تنسى نصيبك، تنال الدين والدنيا رباعة. وسامح، سامح من يسوي فيك زله، وعز النفس عن ذل وضاعة. ولا تعطي خفايا القلب ملك لمن لا فيه للحبل استطاعة. ولا تغريك حالات الصداقة إذا هي بالتوسل والشفاعة. جزى الله من بلواهم بلوني، جزى المعروف ما فيه قطاعة. وحسادي عساهم في تسامح، ولو عني حكاياهم إشاعة. أنا بالوصف كالسحب العوالي، وأنا بحرت لا يبلها شناعة. أمشيها ومجرى التير عندي، ولا أرضى النفس إلا في رفاعة. ورايا سعيد وصل الحب سنة إلي حصلت من تهوى طباعة. عديم الجنس حفاظ المودة، خفيف الدم في زينه ضراعة. لذيذ الملتقى طلق البشاشة، وهذا دوم طبعه وانطباعه. يداريني ومداراته جدايه مدارات الذي تمم رضاعه. حبيبي لي بذلت الروح دوده، أشوف الروح في شفه متاعه. محب لي من الخلان غالي، فريد الشكل في جنسه مناعة. تلاقينا وبالشوق افترقنا، وكل في حفظ ربه وداعه. القصيدة الثانية أنا وايد أحب أقراها، لأني وايد أحب دبي، ولا أحب غير دبي بعد. ما علي عنصرية، أنتمي للإمارات بس أحب وايد دبي. تقول عوشة بنت خليفة، وهاي القصيدة قايلتنها بعد في الستينيات. نهار مسراحي من العين، يممت صوب دبي قصاد، أعني الوصل دار المحبين، حي البلاد وذيك الأيواد. كرام هل دبي كرام، ووجوه مبشين ويرحبون بكل معتاد. من طيبهم والأنس فرحين، وأيامنا لي مرت أعياد. ويا كم فيهم المودين للفن والمزمل والإنشاد. أشوفهم له مستعدين ومتحملين بزود وزناد. والحب له فيهم له براهين، وكبارهم في فنه أولاد. لوهم لي بالحكم راضين، أنا لهم بالشور من قاد. هم أصدقائي لي من سنين، وهم من رفق وليداد. سايلك يلي له مصلين، ولي نرتجي من فضله امداد. من بارج من غرب زفين، عسى المزن والسحب تنقاد. تاخذ مخايلها أسبوعين على البرور وفوق البلاد. مربى الخوندات المزايين، والشيخ راشد لي لها سناد. بالعشب تنبت والرياحين، ويشتاق للي لفى رواد. ومني على حامد بتبين، سلام له من الخاطر يعاد. Thank you very much. شكرا.
Thank you, Dr. Rafia. Can we have another round of applause, please? Thank you so much. So the time to part has arrived, and this will become a lovely memory for us tonight. So allow me to share a couple of verses by the Pakistani poet Faiz Ahmed Faiz. इस कदर प्यार से ए जाने जहां रखा है, दिल के रुखसार पे इस वक्त तेरी याद नेहात. यूं गुमा होता है गरचे है अभी सुबह फिराक, ढल गया हिजर का दिन आ भी गई वस्ल की रात. And the translation: with such tenderness, my love, your memory has placed its hand on the contours of my heart. Even though this is the dawn of our farewell, it feels like the sun has set on our separation and the night of our union is at hand. Thank you so much. Thank you. I would like to call upon our CEO, Ahlam Baluki on stage for a few final words. Please give her a round of applause.
Thank you, everyone. I won't take much of your time. We're all very hungry. But Sir Ben Okri last night told us that the world is made up of people of light and people of darkness. And this space tonight is full of people of light. And if only all of us could think and feel and talk like poets, the world would be a beautiful place. You have opened our hearts tonight with your incredible words, with the indigenous music that we heard, to take in all of the inspiration and beauty that the festival has in store for us this week. So take it all in, enjoy it. Thank you for being with us on this journey. All of you, thank you for our authors being here from all over the world. You make this festival what it is, and as beautiful as it is. Thank you, thank you. Enjoy your dinner tonight.
Thank you. All right, so dinner is served. Please find your way right behind you. And also to remind you that we do have book signing. Magrudi's is present over here, and our favorite poets' books are also here. So please find your way around Magrudi's. Thank you so much for tonight, and have a lovely dinner. Thank you.